Give him his money and these notes, Rinaldo.
I will, my lord.
You shall do marvelous wisely, good Rinaldo, before you visit him to make enquire of his behavior.
My lord, I did intend it.
Take as it were some distant knowledge of him, as thus, I know his father and friends, and impart him. Do you mark this, Rinaldo?
Aye, very well, my lord.
And impart him, but, you may say, not well. But if it be he I mean, he's very wild, addicted, so-and-so. And there put on him what forgeries you please.
As gaming, my lord?
Aye, or drinking, fencing, swearing. What was I about to say? I was about to say something. Where did I leave?
Drinking, fencing, swearing?
Fencing, swearing, quarreling. You may go so far.
My lord, that would dishonor him.
Breathe his faults so quaintly that they may seem the taints of liberty.
But, my good lord.
Wherefore should you do this?
Aye, my lord, I would know that.
Here's my drift. You laying these slight sullies on my son, he closes in this consequence. Good sir, or so, or friend, or gentleman, I saw him enter such a house of sale, a brothel, and so forth. See you now, your bait of falsehood takes his carp of truth. You have me, have you not?
My lord, I have.
God be with you, fare you well.
Good, my lord.
Observe his inclination in yourself.
I shall, my lord.
And let him ply his music.
Well, my lord.
My lord?
How now, Ophelia, what's the matter?
My lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love.
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as though he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head o'er his shoulder turned, he seemed to make his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
What, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which being kept close might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love. Come!
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? What it should be more than his father's death, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies, to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that open lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you. And sure I am two men, there are not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us here a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Oh, well, both your majesties might, by the sovereign powers you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our services freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go.
The ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned. Old Norway sent out tidings to suppress his nephew's levies against your highness. Fortinbras, in brief, obeys, receives rebuke, and makes vow before his uncle never more to give the assay of arms against your majesty, wherein old Norway, overcome with joy, gives him 3,000 crowns in annual fee, and his commission to employ those soldiers, so levied before, against the Polak, with an entreaty herein further shown that it might please you to give quiet pass through your dominions for this enterprise, on such regards of safety and allowance as therein are set down.
It likes us well.
And I do think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death and our or hasty marriage.
My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is't but be nothing else but mad, but let that go.
More matter with less art?
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. Mad let us grant him then. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect. Perpend. I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience hath given me this. Now gather and surmise.
To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beatified Ophelia.
That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beatified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful.
Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love.
Oh, Ophelia. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so. But what might you think? Or my majesty, your dear queen here think? If I had looked upon this love with idle sight? No, I went round to work. And my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy sight. This must not be. And he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then to a fast, thence to a watch, thence to a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be very like.
Hath there been such a time? I'd fain know that I have positively said 'tis so when it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise.
But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you both away. I'll board him presently. Give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well?
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well. You are a fishmonger?
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord.
Aye, sir. To be honest as this world goes is to be one man, picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a good kissing carrion. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive, friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. Yet he knew me not at first. Said I was a fishmonger. He's far gone, far gone. But truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love, very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean, the matter that you read, my lord.
Slander, sir, for the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hams, all which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For yourself, sir, should grow old as I am, if like a crab, you could go backward.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave?
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. I will leave him and suddenly contrive the means of meeting with him and my daughter. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything I will not more willingly part withal, except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Farewell, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
You go to seek the Lord Hamlet? There he is.
God save you, sir.
My excellent good friends! How dost thou, Guildenstern, huh? Rosencrantz, good lads.
My most dear lord.
How do ye both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy, in that we are not over happy. On Fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe. What news?
None, my lord. But that the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
Well, to visit you, my lord, no other reason.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. And sure, dear friends, my thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Were you not sent for? Was it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
Oh, well, to what end, my lord?
That you must teach me, but let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship. Be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
Well, what say you?
If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire? Why, it appeareth nothing to me, but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable in action, how like an angel in action, apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiles you seem to say so.
Oh, my lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said, man delights not me?
Well, my lord, to think if you delight not in man, what wants and entertainment the players shall receive from you. We courted them on the way, and hither they are coming.
He that plays the king shall be welcome. What players are they?
Even those you used to take delight in, the tragedians of the city.
There are the players.
Masters, you are welcome. Your hands, come then. You are welcome to Elsinore, but my uncle, father, and aunt, mother are deceived.
In what, my lord?
I am but mad. North, northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
The actors are come hither,
Ah,
my
buzz,
lord.
buzz!
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, historical, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral, scene individable, or poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy. Or Plautus too light. For the law of writ and the liberty, these are the only men.
Oh, Jephthah, judge of Israel, what a treasure hadst thou. Masters, you are welcome. I'm glad to see you well. Welcome, good friend. What, my old friend? Why, thy face is valanced since I saw thee last. Comes out of Beard Me in Denmark. What? My young lady and mistress. Byre lady, your ladyship is nearer to heaven than when I saw you last. Pray heaven, your voice like a piece of uncurrent gold be not cracked within the ring. Masters, you are welcome. We'll have a speech, straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was never acted. Or if it was, not above once, for the play I remember pleased not the million. 'Twas caviar to the general. One speech in I chiefly loved was Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it, especially where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast, 'tis not so.
No.
It begins with Pyrrhus. The rugged Pyrrhus.
Sable arm.
The rugged Pyrrhus. He whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the night resemble when he lay couched in the ominous horse, hath now this dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal. Head to foot now is he total gules, horridly tricked with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, baked and impasted with the parching streets that lended tyrannous and damned light to their lord's murder, roasted in wrath and fire, and thus o'ersized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles. The hellish Pyrrhus, old grandsire Priam, seeks. So proceed you.
Well spoken, my lord, with good accent and good discretion.
Anon he finds him striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Unequal matched, Pyrrhus at Priam drives, in rage strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. For lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky head of Reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. So as a painted tyrant, Pyrrhus stood, and like a fork to his will and matter did nothing.
Did nothing.
But after Pyrrhus' pause, aroused vengeance sets him to a work, and never did the Cyclops' hammers fall on Mars' armor forged for proof return with less remorse than Pyrrhus' bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Out, thou strumpet fortune! All you gods in general synod, take away her power, break all the spokes and fellies from her wheel, bowl the round nave down the hill of heaven as deep as to the fiends.
This is too long.
It shall to the barbers with your beard, prithee, say on. He's for a jig or a tale of bawdry, or he sleeps. Say on, come to Hecuba.
But who had seen the Moblid Queen?
Moblid Queen.
That's good. Moblid Queen is good.
Run barefoot, up and down, threatening the flames with blinding tears. A rag upon that head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her lank and all o'er teemed loins, a blanket in the alarm of fear caught up. Who this had seen, with tongue and venom steeped 'gainst fortune's state, would treason have pronounced. For if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport, mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have made moist the burning eyes of heaven and passion in the gods.
Look where he has not turned his color and has tears in his eyes. I pray you no more.
'Tis well. I'll have thee speak out the rest of this soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used, for they are the abstract and brief chronicles of a time. After your death, you were better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live.
My lord, I will use them after their desert.
Oh, man, much better! Use every man after his desert, and who shall scape whipping?
Come, sirs.
Follow him, friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Do you know the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
Well, hat tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord. And look you, mock him not. Gentlemen, I'll leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore. Come then.
Good, my lord.
And so goodbye to you. Now I am alone. Oh. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage wan, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit, and all for nothing, for Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him? Or he to Hecuba? That he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears, and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty, appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze, indeed, the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak like John a Dreams, I'm pregnant of my cause, and can say nothing, no, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made? Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tricks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deep as to the lungs? Who does me this? I should take it, for it cannot be, but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I should have fattened all the reaching kites with this slave's awful, bloody body, villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain. Vengeance! Why, what an ass am I? This is most brave, that I, the son of a dear father, murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a very drab, a scullion, fire, foe, about my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tend him to the quick. If I do blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me, to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.